So from there, if his arms just swing very freely underneath him, it's like the easiest thing to get the golf ball starting off on the intended line. That was beautiful. What a great look. Dude, what the hell are we doing out here?
Yeah, this is new.
We don't talk about putting.
Like ever. In videos, at least, you know, if we got a student that can't putt, we're going to teach him how to putt, right?
Exactly. And the funny thing is, like, from my playing career, this is the thing that, like, saved me.
Yeah.
Like, I was an okay ball striker, right?
Same. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
When you had the best rounds, it was when you were hot with the putter, right?
Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. When you're talking to somebody and you're going, oh, man, you know, so-and-so, he's such a great putter. You'll never hear this. He's such a great putter. Guys, such a good stroke. He just, ball's perfect. He just never makes any putts.
No, you don't.
No.
You don't hear that.
You'll hear like, oh my gosh, such a good putter, paired with that as the ball goes in the hole, right?
Makes everything he looks.
Yeah,
You hear
like
that a lot.
Bob May is like a figure eight. He makes everything. Great putter, right?
Yeah. Same, I think, like Bobby Locke, like had this weird stroke, right?
Nicholas, freaking
Yeah,
in here,
Nicholas.
right? Yeah, like
Yeah.
So all these guys, like freaking great putter, great putter, great putter. No hate on this dude. Adam Scott has a perfect putting stroke. Like when he had a short putter, it's like, oh man.
Like
nothing.
dead, yeah, dead on rails, yeah.
So it's from the top down. The very top is ball goes in. With that being said, what is the best formula to get that thing in there? And we need to be able to do three things. There's three variables in putting.
Got it.
Number one is, can the ball roll? Now this sounds ridiculous.
Silly. Yeah.
Like you've got a club that has 0 degrees loft, with no crash, it's not going to get in the air.
Yes.
But the ball, like especially with like Quintec technology and all these high-speed cameras, you can see how the ball is being affected right off the bat. Like as soon as you hit it, like what we want is the ball to just from top down head over tea kettle. The top portion of the ball starts going forward as the bottom is still catching up with the top portion.
I got it.
It's also not buried in the ground. Yep, exactly. Which good. We'll cover that, right? But in essence, we want the ball to roll. Next, we need it to roll down the intended line. So can I get the ball starting off where I set the putter?
Okay.
Okay, like if I set the putter down anywhere on all these 360 degrees,
Right.
can I start it off of wherever that putter is lined up?
Okay.
And then finally is how far the golf ball travels. So we got roll, intended line, distance.
Okay.
Cool.
Roll it down the line.
Roll it down your intended line.
Distance of the hole.
Distance of the hole. Yep.
Okay.
And you can kind of like mess around with that.
Sure.
Fine. But just for the sake of just clear lenses.
Okay.
Roll the golf ball down your intended line, the distance of the hole.
Okay.
So the beautiful thing here is, in putting, we can knock out 2 of them sons of guns just in setup.
Roll and down the line.
Roll and line.
Okay.
Exactly. So then when we're actually just going to hit the putt, we're only focused on one thing, and that's the pressure on the ball to control the speed.
Got it.
Okay, so let's start with roll. And we'll do this, Teej, let's do this from facing the camera. Okay, so the dynamic loft and like how the golf ball is interacting with the tool, with the putter, and the hit is the most important piece here. And what we want is 2 real items. Number one, most putters are somewhere between 2 and 5 degrees aloft when you purchase them.
Got it.
Okay, which is fine.
Okay.
Number 2, what we want is an angle of attack that's appropriate to roll the ball. Okay, so let's start with, like, if I have a wedge and I hit down on it, that creates a dynamic loft where I'm going down, so I create more friction this way against the ball. Okay, it would launch it lower, but that golf ball is going to roll up the face, and now I backspin it.
Got it.
So with putting, what we want is the ball, or the putter rather, to slightly ascend into the ball. And I'm talking slightly. I mean, I'm talking a degree or 2.
But it
So
just slightly.
Yep. So let's imagine like a bike tire right here that's in front of my center.
Okay.
And if I'm swinging my arm from this lever here, and I hit that bike tire on that ascend, there goes the bike tire to immediately roll. If I put the bike tire back here and I'm descending on it, I'm just going to squish it in the ground. It's going to bounce up, right? So no rolling there.
I see. I see.
Okay. And that bottom out is always going to be underneath the sternum. So from the sternum, the ball should be placed 2 inches in front of that sternum point.
How do you classify what 2 inches is? Like one ball?
Yeah, one ball, roughly. Yep, exactly. So if we're here, and this is good mirror work for folks, you just stand in front of the mirror, you look at the mirror and go, okay, there's where my sternum line would be.
Okay.
The ball is slightly ahead of that.
Got it.
Because now the club is descend, 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 bottom out, ascend, ascend, ascend. So now I'm going to ascend without even having to worry about it. It's just ball placement.
Got it.
But then number two, again, most putters have 2 to 5 degrees of loft. We want a slight forward lean in the shaft. And that forward lean should be the grip of the putter being right over the top of the golf ball at address. So now I'm taking a putter, let's say that my putter has 4 degrees of loft. I lean it here. Now it has 1 or 2 degrees of actual loft.
Got it.
So if I've got 1 degree of loft with an upward hit of 1 or 2 degrees, that ball, one, could actually get airborne slightly, which is fine, but the ball is immediately tumbling. So when it hits, it just brrr,
Got it.
right?
Okay.
So this is super easy. We have a ball that's 2 inches in front of sternum with a forward shaft lean of a couple of degrees so that the grip of the putter is right over the top of the golf ball from the face-on lens.
I'd probably be more right about here for
There
that
you go.
angle.
Perfect.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. So fairly simple.
Okay.
Now we don't have to worry about roll anymore.
So that takes care of roll.
Hit one for us.
Okay. You know where this putt's going?
I think it's going to go to the right a little bit,
Just
but
a
let's
bit.
go ahead and hit it. Yep, beautiful. Good. You can almost hear it too, Tej. That was fair. Like right off the ground, or right off the bat, you'll hear it. Brrr.
Kind of purr. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the longer the putt, if you get into like 60 feet, the ball still should actually get in the air slightly.
Because you're hitting it so hard.
You're hitting it so hard. It
Right.
still has 1 degree aloft with an upward hit. It's going to get in the air a little bit.
Airborne a little. I hear you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So we got roll.
Okay.
Next, intended line.
All right.
A few things that go into this, but in essence, like if you're holding the putter, just hold it straight up in front of you, just like you would, like let's hold it like a 6-iron. Like I'm going to rip it.
Okay.
Okay. So right there, you're holding it primarily in the fingers.
Correct.
Okay. So, and it almost sits underneath the pinky pad. Like we have 2 pads here. There's meaty pad here, meaty pad there,
Yep.
thumb pad, pinky pad.
So full swing sitting underneath the pinky pad.
That's exactly right.
Right. Okay.
And what's the reason for that?
Well, it gives you more maneuverability in the hands. You
Yes.
can hinge, unload the golf club, do things with your hands.
Leverage that thing,
Yep.
hit that thing right.
If it's up in the palm, you can't do that as much.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. And what it does, like the more that the shaft sits down, it sits on this path, this arc.
Yep.
So if I swung it on this arc, see how radically the face would open and close to the target? It'd be square to the path.
Yes.
But now you would have to be so precise with your ball position, because if it was slightly forward, that
Yep.
ball's going left. If it's slightly back, that
That's
ball's
what that
going
one
right.
did, right.
There you go.
So the ball position is just a little bit off in your setup, and then that really
Yep.
makes it hard to roll down your line.
Exactly. So
Okay.
if I have it in the fingers and I set up to the golf ball, the shaft angle is down, right? And I've
Okay.
almost got like two different planes. I have my forearm plane, which is fairly vertical,
Okay.
and the shaft plane that's fairly more horizontal than that.
So one plane here, one plane there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if I just hold that thing up and I just, even if I use the hands just slightly, we can see how much the face opens and how much it would close without even trying to like supinate and pronate,
Right.
right? So problem, right? It's
Yeah.
harder to get it down your intended line that way.
Yes.
So instead, if we let the really, and I think the easiest way to better understand this and feel this, we want it to sit in the lifeline, which is right underneath the thumb pad. If you hold the putter right up in front of you and you let the weight of the putter fall until the grip catches in that thumb pad, now we're there. There you go. So it's right in here, boom, just catches right in there. And you'll see a different droop, right? Like from my forearm plane into the shaft plane, there's a bow here, this way, rather than their 6-iron. Yep.
Yep.
Which is absolutely like nobody sets up with a neutral wrist.
Right.
Everybody has some amount of ulnar when they're setting up to 6-iron. The same's true with putter. If I let that droop and fall down, if I take that off, see that ulnar shape rather than
ulnar.
neutral?
Yep.
Yep. So you'll still have ulnar, but the error, if you're going to error, is more of a bow in this shape where I have more ulnar as the handle is sitting into the thumb pad. Because now the handle's higher, the shaft is higher,
Right.
So now if I use just like an extension to flexion look, the face is so much more stable to the target on a gradual, super gradual arc, rather than the radical arc from like underneath the pinky pad and the
Right.
fingers.
Right.
Okay, so let's just hit one from there. Good. You're pretty good.
Oh, early call.
Got to protect the lead like that. So we've got that particular posture, but or that particular look in the handle, but then posture is really important with this as well. So the more that I have a retracted look in the scaps, so the scaps are getting closer and closer to my spine, right? That way.
Okay.
It leaks to spine extension in the thoracic and C-spine.
Okay.
And so now in posture, I would look here, right? See how like flat my back is?
Yeah.
Problem.
Doesn't feel right. Yeah.
Exactly. And plus you don't have anywhere, like the more I retract, my arms sit on the sides, so I have nowhere for them to swing. And now you're totally using this rotation in the spine and in the ribs.
Yeah.
And the more that I do that, now the face is going to open and close substantially to the target. Not to the path, but you're setting up the path to be very radical.
Sure.
So we need heavy, almost to like complete scap protraction around you, right? Like bear hug mode. The more you do that, the more the T-spine moves into flexion. And so there's a ton of round right in here in TJ's T-spine, which is beautiful because when this is flat, okay, and it won't be completely flat to the ground, like level to the ground here, but it's a heck of a lot closer. And in this space, like if you go ahead and hold it right in that lifeline, and I'd love to see it just a tiny bit higher. Now we'll see like where that shaft plane is going through TJ's T-spine here, that this is darn near perpendicular to the shaft's plane.
Got it.
Which is great. Now, if you just swing around that plane and let the putter just freely release, that ball's going to start down your intended line every time. That looks a hell of a lot like Nicklaus, by the way.
It does.
Right? He just has like crazy side bend to like getting that like crazy look. But part of the reason why Nicklaus is such a great putter are these principles. That's beautiful. Okay, so, oh, that was hit so nice. Feel that? That was hit great.
Yeah.
So the more that we scap protract as well, these don't actually do this, but the look is that they internally rotate. They don't actually internally rotate relative to the scaps and the shoulder. But what we will see, if you face the camera for us here, Teach. So, and I'll take your putter from you. Okay, scap retract. Okay, so the opposite side of the elbow is the antecubital fossa that is pointing right here right now. Now let's just see what happens to this antecubital when you go into heavy scap protraction. See how the antecubital all of a sudden starts to point in here. So we have this, it almost looks like I could stuff a beach ball right in here.
Correct.
And it's not because you're trying to do anything crazy in the humerus. They're neutral,
Yeah.
but these elbows are quite a ways away from one another now.
Got it.
So now in here, there's all this room. Now let's go down the line. Okay, see this space in here now? Your arms have all this free room to swing underneath your rib cage.
Got it.
Which is freaking beautiful. So don't move the rib cage. Just swing each arm from the shoulder socket to and fro. There you go. Okay, so when TJ's swinging here, if I have a lever here and a lever here, the swinging looks like this. So see how there's no chest movement right now? Zero. Like when folks go like rock the shoulders or rotate the chest, yes, does that happen? But it's a passive response, because the only reason that responds that way is because you have a dual point of contact on the grip. Like as soon as I go here, see this? And then I go here. So my hands look like this, right? Because this is a swinging point. This is also a swinging point. There you go. So if I have them connected now and I feel the same thing, it looks like the chest rotates, and it does, but it's responding to that look.
So there's not a lot of like active going on in the chest.
Exactly.
It's mostly just this picture of swinging my arms freely underneath my chest.
Swinging point, swinging point. Really in putting, we'll have one additional swinging point, which we'll get into here in a sec when we talk about distance, but this is a swinging point, and this is a swinging point.
I got
A great way to feel this too is like if you're cradling your phone, like the phone's pointing right up towards me, now just rock that phone to and fro. God, so soft in here. And I just swing that. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we'll see how the phone, when TJ's swinging this, it like slightly arcs, but it's very gradual. See that? So now think of the face of the putter being perpendicular to that phone and how it would arc. Go ahead and swing the putter now with the same sensation. Look at that putter now. See the face? Does it open and close relative to the target?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, but it's very gradual. So how easy is it to get it down the line now? Oh, filthy.
Better.
Yeah. And what's nice is like now we can release the putter fully, right? We don't need to block it down the line at all.
Sure.
But now we can talk about general releases here, which is going to help us with distance. So just to recap intended line, we've got lifeline grip,
Okay.
which if anything, we're going to err where there's a difference in the angle from the shaft to the form and that this bow's in this shape
Got it.
rather than in this shape. Okay. Number two is the protraction state of the scaps, which creates this flexion state in TJ's T-spine. And so from there, if his arms just swing very freely underneath him, it's like the easiest thing to get the golf ball starting off on the intended line. That was beautiful. What a great look.
Okay.
Okay, last piece. And we talked about this in one of our previous videos when we were talking about the difference between distance wedges and full wedges. Is this like the difference between like a proximal to distal outlook compared to distal to proximal outlook?
Got it.
Now just to define distal distance, furthest distance away from you.
Got it.
So that'd be my hands, my fingers.
Okay.
Proximal is the center of mass of me. That's the most proximal state, right above my belt buckle.
Got it.
Okay, so in full swing, we have a proximal leaking to the distal because we're looking to tissue load, and then it leaks out into the golf club and shoots all that energy out, and it feels freaking awesome.
Okay.
Putting, we don't need all that tissue load. Because like even if you have a 50 or 60 footer, when's the last time you like wound up on a putt?
No. Yeah.
Hopefully you're not.
Sure.
Right? So we need an unbelievable sense of the hit in the fingers and in the hands.
Got it.
So putting really is the lever is in here. And we see this out of like some of my favorite putters. Again, looking at like Nicklaus, Palmer, Ben Crenshaw.
Crenshaw, yeah.
Oh, dude, it's just melty. Like you'll see the handle like almost stay underneath the player in here. Like hitting a 5-foot putt, why would I want and need to rock my shoulders? Why wouldn't I just go here?
Makes more sense that way. I mean, it's simpler.
Yeah. Yeah, so hit one, there's an old hole right here, TJ.
Okay.
Let's hit one where it's just from the hands, like you're going from extension to flexion with the trail hand to just kind of pop it out there a bit. Okay, great. Now what I'd love to see, like there's a little block there. The release can be in here. So see how the putter can pass. There. Which is cool because like let's equate this like and loads and unloads in your wrists is like crazy. So because I could like load a club by going supination to pronation, load, unload. I could load, unload, radial to ulnar. I could load, unload, extension to flexion. Just talking about the right wrist.
Right.
So if I have a hammer, keep going back to this hammer analogy. It's like the theme today. Hammer, if I'm hitting a nail, it's all in here. Like how much is the elbow moving? But I can hit that freaking nail like perfect and whatever pressure I want to put on it. Now, if I have a bigger swing, like a bigger nail and harder piece of wood, now I might allocate more energy into the hand, into the distal, and it'll leak closer into my proximal. Boom. So this starts to respond, the arm starts to respond in that hammer analogy.
But a short putt would just be...
And you don't even need to worry about like it getting into your arms and it'll just happen, right? Like nobody's just gonna sit there and go whack, right? Like you're in here, my arm's moving?
Yeah.
Sure. Is my chest moving?
Yeah.
That's a 40-footer.
Come on, you've seen people do this, though.
Yeah, because the map is interesting, right? Like, so they'll swing it back here.
Yeah.
Right? And they just don't know what the system is. Like, so right now at address, we talked about this in roll.
Yeah.
Handling, blah, blah, blah. Your job is to be able to replace the putter back to where it was at the address position And from there, the putter head, the bat end, the center mass of the putter, the putter head can just go. Yep. So the whole look is like I'm away, replace, release. Let's see how that's like all in the hands. Boom. Boom. I like very rarely, like this whole idea of like, don't use your hands in the putting stroke. I think it just screws people up. Like the best putters in history use their hands.
Have used
like,
their hands,
primarily.
especially the old school. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
like the Seve, the Nicklaus, the Crenshaw. It was all in
That
there.
was so good. To control pace, we've got to have a sense of touch. And the more that there's a softness in the hands, and we like don't have that tension in a system, the hands and the fingers that are so vital to touch. Like there's so many friggin' feelies down in your fingers.
100%.
Tension kills that, so it's a heck of a lot more difficult to control pace if we're feeling it more in a proximal system. By the way, not saying that there's no proximal act here, it's just a distal to proximal motion. Would it be okay for a certain player to feel it in their ribs or in their chest or in their shoulders?
Sure.
Sure. Totally. But that's person to person. What I'm saying is the actual like ability to control pace is primarily going to be through the fingers and through the hands.
Sure.
And so we have to open up that causeway, right? I see a lot of people that like start in the game and they're like, just rock the shoulders. This is like locked down in here.
Yep.
It's like here.
Yep.
And they're like, well, right. I mean, dude, I've never seen one good putter look like that, right?
Bryson.
So Bryson, interesting one. Arm lock, right?
Yes.
And big block. Now, great player. When you think of Bryson, do you go, he won the Open because he's such a great putter?
Well, no. But statistically, if we're looking at the strokes gained, he is a great putter.
He is a great putter.
Right.
Yep. Now, the best putters in history, do they look like that?
I don't know. We might be seeing it. I don't know.
Okay.
He's shifting a little. You know what I mean? Like
so-
he's not afraid to go out.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, Ray Floyd is one of the best ball strikers in history. Do they all look like Ray Floyd?
No.
So he's an outlier.
Okay.
Bryson's a great putter. He's an outlier.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Now, you can do that. Like arm lock is cool. Broom is cool. Right? Most players, like out here, we're at Lone Tree today, most players have a standard putter. So what we're talking today is just you got a standard putter. Here's an opening to like how you can control putting in general.
Got it.
Can you do it a lot of different ways? Heck yeah, you can.
Okay.
Totally. 100% you can.
Work.
If you have a lot of difficulty with this, like players that have the yips and they go to like arm lock and it's like right on or here, broom and like boom, do that. Like, again, it goes back to top of the pyramid. What's a great putter? Ball goes in.
Ball goes in the hole.
Exactly.
That's number one, right?
Can you roll the golf ball down your intended line, the distance of the hole in a few different ways?
100%.
You betcha. And do player by player, will they feel little odd things because that's an individual that feels like a certain item? Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we still have like Bryson has some amount of dexterity that allows him to control pace to make putts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the point. We have to have some amount of that. Some
Dexterity.
amount.
Yeah. Feel it in your hands a little bit. Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I think just like kind of recapping here, because I'd love to do like numerous of these and just talk about like, okay, here's putting, right? Just like we do with full swing. But this is like intro to putting. We got great putters make putts. How do they make putts? Well, they roll it really well. They can control their line and their pace. And so you do that, every putt's going to look like it's going to go in.
Yeah.
And if they're all looking like they're going to go in, there's some where that hole swallows it up.
Yes.
And there's our three variables, right?
Okay.
Boom. That's how we can just open the door to understanding like, hey, this is how I can do that, how I can accomplish those things, how I can like nail those variables. Beautiful thing is two of those we're just doing in setup.
That's setup.
But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we just want to simplify this to the point where over the ball, you're like, man, I got certain items taken care of and I can just control the pressure on the ball. Hoop, hoop, hoop. Go hoop putts.
Love it.
Love it.